We actually take a look at incoming claims and decide whether or not they are payable claims or not. I would notice that claims were in a pay status before the employee actually had an opportunity to respond. So they were receiving weeks and weeks of benefits. And then the employer's response would come in and they would say, no, they were not laid off, but they either quit or they were terminated. So at the customer service level, there really wasn't much to do there. But once I was promoted here to Raleigh in the adjudication unit, I had a voice. Money was coming from our fund, so they didn't have to pay the money back. So that was a huge frustration for me because I knew you got 5 weeks of benefits and no one was ever going to go back to recoup that.
And I'll never forget sitting in our large conference room with about 100 people. And at the end of my remarks, I asked if anybody had any suggestions.
I was sitting in my seat and I was thinking, should I say anything? And then he said, I'm going to take one last question.
And our mission statement at DES has been integrity, ability, and compassion for the unemployed. But on that day, what we saw was another word that starts with a C, which is courage. Tarsha Crisp stood up from the third row and she started her sentence elegantly by saying, I've often wondered why, which was her way of saying, what I'm about to say, I wonder why someone didn't think of it before I did.
And I just asked, I said, is there anything we could do about claims that move into a pay status before the employer has an opportunity to respond?
Why would we load the unemployment debit card that our claimants receive when they are entitled to benefits before we hear back from the employer about why this person was discharged? And there were 5 attorneys in the room that day, and I'll never forget looking at them and saying, why isn't this, can you answer this lady's question? And no one had an answer. Not only did we implement it within this agency, but that idea ended up becoming a law. The law was passed by the legislature and ultimately signed by the governor.
I did. He actually signed the bill and he gave me one of the pens that he used to sign it.
Her question and her idea is going to create almost $750 million of real tax relief for North Carolina businesses.
He was open to hear what I had to say and he wanted to make changes. So it fell on right ground, good soil.